Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here with Juliet Ransom, the Customer Success Manager for MachineMax. And MachineMax is here today helping me tell the story of the Connected Worksite. Juliet, we really are here on a Connected Worksite today with Plantforce, one of your key customers, and LP Training have lent us this space. We're going to go live into FutureWorks with this, and you're a part of that process that's developed the whole customer experience for our MachineMax, and you're working very closely with people like Plantforce. Tell me a little bit about how we actually make all the data that's coming off these machines a reality so that we can see it all in action at FutureWorks and on the 30th and 31st of March, folks. Tell me about it.
So what we do at MachineMax is that we are first and foremost a data company.
Right.
So we bring data from all different sources, whether that be a physical sensor, a piece of hardware, or an API through to a manufacturer. Now, I know an API is a really big word and quite technical. Essentially what it is it is a highway that we build between ourselves and, say, a Kobelco or a Bell.
Yep. We
then pull information that is relevant to our customers and then display it on the platform of MachineMax in an easy and convenient way.
Right, so that platform, what's really important and exciting for me actually, is that platform has been put together for the construction industry and for the wider plant using community. That means it's accessible with the right things on it. So we're talking about lots of different information that you're pulling off, but what you're doing is you're taking that information and saying, this is what is really important to you as a client here and you as an end user here. How does that work?
So the main thing, the reason why it works is because we talk to our customers to understand what is it that they are struggling to see on their sites.
Right.
What data is actually relevant to them? Because we could pull all data. That doesn't necessarily mean that they would use all the data. The main data points that we're pulling are our machine activity. So that is your on hours, your off hours, and the amount of idling hours that each machine is doing. We're then also pulling through GPS,
right,
whether that be one GPS ping a day or a live GPS feed. And the final thing that we're pulling through is fuel data. So that's liters of fuel used by each machine, also CO2 burn, so that we can start to understand the environmental impact that we're having on each site.
Right, now that's really exciting to me. CO2 for me is really very exciting because I want to know, folks, on the road to net zero, I want to know how much it's going to take us to dig that trench, to move that earth, to do the things we're doing. And also I want to understand what's the difference between one machine with certain technologies on it and another machine that's doing different work or maybe the same work with no technology on it. So how do we measure all this? We can't measure the impacts unless we know the data. And so if we know the fuel burn for something that's using a lot of technology and tilt rotators and machine control like we're here with the Connected Worksite, folks, and the impact of that on CO2 and fuel burn, we know the cost benefits, don't we? And this is what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely. One of the other great things about bringing through that fuel data, as well as the idling data, is that we can start to realize savings on site as well.
Right.
So we're talking about looking at things like non-productive idling, right?
Yep.
It's not possible to run a machine without idling. So there is such thing as productive idling. What we want to do is use the data to show you that idling that is not productive, that is causing you to emit more CO2 into your environment, also causing you more of a cost for fuel, which we know is just going up and up and up.
Yeah, absolutely. And literally, we're here in March 2022. In April, that red to white diesel is going to see fuel surging, and we're already seeing fuel surging at this particular moment due to the global impacts of change. And the fundamental thing about this, folks, is if you need to save fuel, which people do now, because that's a huge cost. If we need to be better for the environment, we need to do things differently, and we need to understand, if I invest in a brand new machine, stage 5, like these machines, if I invest in a tilt rotator on it, if I invest in a semi-automatic system that's also on this machine, what is going to be the impact to dig that hole, to move the earth? And if we can do that through MachineMax, and we tell ourselves, right, this is what the overall investment is, this is what the project cost is, this is what the fuel saving is, we can actually see the commercial element come together to say, yes, we can actually do things better. And yes, we might need to invest, but we've got a payback. And it's all about payback. You're never going to invest loads and loads of money in all this equipment and operator training. We're at LP training here today without a payback, are you?
100%. And you're not going to realize what that is unless you start collecting the data.
Yeah.
You need a base, right? You need a point of truth in order to understand how you can plan for the future, how you can make sure that you're delivering projects on time, within a KPI, and within cost as well.
So it's all happening here on the Connected Worksite. We're going to see you again at the Future Works on the 30th and 31st of March. 31st of March, I'm going to be going live, seeing this live in action here. It's so exciting, isn't it, that we're finally getting all of this together and being able to demonstrate it to an audience.
It really is. I feel like we're living in the future.
We are living in the future, and we'll be showing that future off at Future Works on the 30th and 31st of March. Thanks so much for meeting me. I'll be back, folks, don't worry, to see what these machines are doing from far away in Peterborough. Cheers.
Cheers.